We are going to try to teach a second grader, slightly above average second grader, algebra. So it turns out when you try to teach a child algebra, they get confused very easily, especially if you ask them what x is. It turns out that asking a child what x is isn't really a fair question, because there's actually at least two levels of abstraction to that question, and I think when you ask it, people aren't even aware of that. So you should be careful not to ask that question. What is x? Because it could mean, what is x, like x is 4 or x is 2, I want the answer. Or it could also mean, in this equation, what does x represent? X is the number of eggs in the basket, or x is the amount of money that something is going to cost. So we're going to eliminate one of the levels of abstraction right away. This, that's x. Okay, somebody asks what x is? That's what it is, right there. That's x. What is this, Ada?
X.
What about this?
Y.
Okay, so we have no ambiguity right there. That's important. Okay, now when we want to know what x equals to, we can solve that equation. But we've already simplified it quite a bit. And what we're going to do now is we're going to say this is x, and this is the opposite of x. Okay? She's only in second grade, and so negative numbers are kind of confusing. So we're just going to say opposite. This is the opposite of this. Black is the opposite of white. Simple. And if you have two things that are opposite, what happens, Zayna?
You have to take them out of the bowl, and you cancel them.
They cancel out, okay? They explode, they annihilate, they destroy each other. Okay? So if you ever have a 1 and a -1 next to each other, it's like matter and antimatter. They cancel each other out. Okay? So we have these two plates with nothing on them. And what we're going to do, we're going to put the same amount on each plate. So now there's the same amount on each plate. This is the same as that. So there's actually two things, there's two operations that we're going to allow our student to do. We know these are balanced, they're the same amount. So you can put the same thing in each half, and it won't spill or anything. So we can do that. Or, if you want, we could do that. And it's still the same amount on each side. Or we can do this. So that's one thing that we can do. The other thing we can do is if we happen to see things that annihilate, we can annihilate them. Do you see anything that annihilates here, Zayna?
Yes.
Annihilate.
These two.
Anything else?
And these.
Okay, now we're going to add, we're going to subtract x from each side. See anything that annihilates?
Yes.
Go ahead and annihilate. Okay, now we're going to add x to each side. See anything that annihilates?
Yes.
Okay, so now we have these two plates which we can say, we don't have to say it, but we can actually read this as an equation. Can you try and read that as an equation, Zayna?
Yes. X minus 2 is the same as 4 minus x.
Right, so these two things are the same. And so just by doing those two operations, annihilation and addition, adding to each side, we're going to try to solve for x. Okay, go ahead, Zayna.
I'm going to add 1 to each side, and then I'm going to eliminate these two because
They're opposites.
yeah, they're opposites. And now I'm going to add this again because then I could eliminate that because they're opposites. And now I'm going to add 2 white x's, and then I'm going to put them in, and then I see something that eliminates, so I'm just going to eliminate that. And now we're going to show this like that. And now you say the problem, and the problem is x equals 3.
That's exactly right, Zayna. Would you like to do a hard one now?
Yeah.
That was very good. So let's just do another one. Go crazy. We're going to run out of time on this film here. Come on, Zayna. Yeah, go ahead.
X equals minus 6.
That's exactly right.